Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Noodle Journey where we're going to talk about the wildly popular Indomie Mi Goreng. Indomie's regular Mi Goreng flavor is basically synonymous with Indonesian instant noodles. While other companies make Mi Goreng instant noodles, it's safe to say that anytime someone mentions instant Mi Goreng, they probably mean this brand and this variety. This has a lot going for it. It's packed with a lot of flavor, it's dirt cheap, and is really easy to find in the US and around the world. There were some news articles I saw recently that said that the war in Ukraine was affecting Indonesia's wheat supplies and in turn affecting Indomie's ability to produce this product, but I was able to find this without any issue at my local Asian grocery store, or on Amazon, or any number of other online storefronts. I paid $2.99 for a 5-pack of these, and you can expect to pay around the same price-to-pack ratio if you buy in bulk online. These are a snack-sized noodle at best, but the price is still unbeatable for the quality of this product. If it sounds like I've had these before and I'm just kind of gushing about them at this point, yeah, full disclosure, I've eaten these before. Back in the good old days, early in this unending pandemic, I scored a variety pack that included these, along with a bunch of other Indomie flavors from Amazon, and I was hooked. Sadly, those variety packs appear to be long gone, and so I'm left with just being able to buy this, their flagship variety, and also their hot and spicy variety, at my nearby store. But spoiler, I haven't had a bad flavor from Indomie yet. I plan to keep up with what's in stock nearby and online once supply chain issues get worked out. Whatever I can get my hands on will get reviewed someday. This modest little package of noodles boasts 820 milligrams of sodium. Not that you can read that because the text is incredibly tiny. And there's a whole lot of tasty ingredients in here. There do not appear to be any animal products in here if that's important to you, but please double check me if you're vegan. So let's take a look inside at what makes Indomie such a step above the other noodles in this price range. So there's a block of wavy dried noodles and a bunch of pouches, which are all labeled for your convenience. We've got some liquid packets here. There's a seasoning oil, which is just palm oil and shallot. There's a chili sauce and a sweet soy sauce. And you can add any or all of these into the finished noodles in whichever quantity you want based on your taste. I personally like all three of these very much, so I just dump them all in, but if you don't like spice, skip the chili, or if you want less onion flavor, don't use so much of the oil. Your choice. I wouldn't skimp on the sweet soy sauce, though, because that's where a lot of the flavor comes from. Then there's the dried powder, which is a combo of salt, sugar, MSG, garlic, onion, and soybean. I've said this before, unless you're actually medically intolerant to salt or glutamates, MSG is your friend, your tasty, delicious friend. And then finally, there's a pack of fried shallots to garnish the noodles. Hell yes. Cooking time. So boil about 400 milliliters of water, and your measurement here doesn't have to be too precise because we're going to completely drain these. Then we're going to add the noodles. Reduce this to a simmer and cook for about 3 minutes. While those noodles cook, meanwhile, in your serving plate or bowl, and I'm using a very special bowl this time because these are very special noodles that I love. This is a bowl that my wife and kids made me for Father's Day this year because they know how much I love noodles, and I really wanted to use this. And I wanted to use this because these are also my wife's favorite noodles. So thank you, honey. Thank you, kids. In our bowl, we're going to dump in whatever seasonings we like. So in goes the powder packet, and then all three seasoning oils. And since I like to dump all three in, the easiest thing to do is just use scissors and cut straight across here. And just let it all flow out. So dump in the drained noodles, stir it all together. And I also prefer to save the shallots to the end so they don't get soft or mushy. So I'm just going to dump them in. So one final stir to mix in those shallots just a little bit. And this is the finished product. This smells great. Mostly you're going to notice a sweet onion smell coming from this. It really doesn't look like much, I know, but it has a great aroma. Now, I haven't eaten these in a while, actually, so let me refresh my memory with a taste. Yeah, that's good. The noodles, despite being very easy on the budget, are very good quality. They're not going to hit the same texture notes as the most premium of instant noodles, but they're leaps and bounds better than your top ramen, cup noodle, or instant lunch. They're pleasantly soft, but they're not mushy. They go very well with this sauce, and taking into account that price point and the fact that they do kind of tend to stick together sometimes, case in point, they're a 7 out of 10 for noodle texture. Now the spice. I dumped the entirety of that chili packet in here. You can choose not to do that, and your spice experience will be different from mine. I would say that with the whole spice packet in here, this is around a 3 out of 10 on the spiciness scale. It is tingly, but it's not really any hotter than something like Tabasco sauce. The only difference is that it does linger in the back of your throat for a while. So while it's not intolerable by any stretch, the hot sensation will stick around in your mouth after you finish. And I promise I'll buy the hot and spicy Mi Goreng soon to do a comparison. And so let's talk about the flavor. This basic Mi Goreng pack, assuming you dumped everything in, gives you a bunch of different flavors happening all at once. You've got the chili oil spice, which actually gives you a little fruitiness from the chili peppers as well. There's a hint of garlic from the powder, some sugary sweetness, there's salt and umami from the soy pack, and there's a nice strong onion flavor that comes from the powder and the oil and the fried shallots. It's a really terrific combination of things to keep your taste buds interested in with each bite. Shallot/onion is the dominant flavor here, though, to be sure. I love shallots, and so I love this. A little bit of crunch from the fried shallots gives you some nice texture, too, in addition to the little stickiness from the soy packet. It coats the noodles really well, especially considering you don't have to add any water to this. Overall, taking into account everything like price, portion size, flavor, and ingredients, this is a solid 9 out of 10 for me. It's fair to say that this is a favorite snack that I always come back to. This is also my wife's go-to for an instant noodle snack, like I said, so this is a constant fixture in our pantry. The only reason I would say to avoid this is if you have a strong opinion about onions or the sweetened onion flavor that I described. If you don't prefer onions, this isn't for you. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for any sweetness in my savory food either. I get it. But I personally love how all of the ingredients in this come together, so for me, it's always a satisfying treat. Hopefully you will give this a try if you haven't yet, and hopefully I can find a reliable source for all of Indomie's many other flavors so I can review them for you as well. Until then, please leave me some comments, and please like and subscribe to continue on this noodle journey with me.